The Arkansas Sports Network Basketball Classic tips off January 3rd in Clinton. Some of the state's best teams. One unforgettable day of hoops. Don't wait. Secure your seats now before they're gone. Get your tickets for the ASN Basketball Classic at facebook.com/ARSportsNetHS and ARSportsNet, or you can click the QR code at the bottom of the screen.
Giving you the entertainment you deserve. Here's Ruskin and Zach.
All right, time on this Football Friday brought to you by Gasano's Pizza. Turn our attention to the high school scene. A lot of second games tonight. It's that weird time of year where it's week 1, but it's game 2. It's a whole thing. And, there's a reason for they do it this way, but I don't know why. Anyway, so it's time to talk high school football on this Friday night. Brad Caldwell from the Arkansas Sports Network is our guest here on Ruskin and Zach. Hello, Brad. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Are we allowed to talk about Joe T. Robinson, or is that have the folks in Little Rock just decided we're going to ignore what happened in week 1?
Good question. I know they were dominant, 53-14.
39. That hasn't happened to PA in forever.
Right. They'd had to have went out of state to probably get that kind of beating, and even at that, I haven't seen anything like that. I remember when Kelly was there. I think they played the team out of Salt Lake City, Utah, got beat pretty good. But in-state, it hasn't happened in years.
Yeah. It's incredible. And credit Joe T. I mean, they're under new leadership over there. Tadascola steps away, and, man, they are they're going to be formidable. But, it's week 1. All these games mean nothing. They're all non-con games. Nothing, matters until you get to your first conference game.
Well, they set up for what can happen in the season. And, of course, a game like that for Robinson, I mean, it's got to give them confidence that not only can they win that game, but they can maybe take down Parkview for the 5A championship this year. I mean, they're definitely contenders. Anytime that you can beat a Pulaski Academy team in that manner, I mean, obviously, being a 5A school, they're right there for, obviously, the championship contention.
Brad, any other things that stood out to you from the first weekend of games last week?
Well, one thing that stood out to me was the performance by Enoch Hassan of Greenbrier.
Yeah.
367 total yards and 7 touchdowns in a win versus Warren.
That'll do. Against Warren, that'll do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the top performances in the state. Greenbrier beating Warren at Warren 57-32. That's a big deal. I mean, I know that Warren is 4A, Greenbrier is 5A, but at the end of the day, it's still a really good win to go down there and win that ball game the way they did. Going into the small school area, we were at Monticello, who I think is a very good football team. Fordyce handled them very easily, 46-18. I think that Fordyce, just looking at them, of course, I've seen one game, so it's pretty hard to just make one rush judgment, but boy, they looked really good on the 3A level.
Yeah, absolutely. What about Fayetteville defeating Cabot as
Hank
strongly?
Hendricks with, what do you have, 472?
Yeah.
Is that it? Did I see that right?
Yeah. What does this mean that Cabot could be in for a long year, or is just Fayetteville that dominant this year?
I think it might be the latter. I know that a lot of people have been talking about Cabot as having one of their stronger teams in several years, and then they go up to Fayetteville and they get smacked. Fayetteville has got it going up there, and then getting Hendricks in like they did to come in and run that offense definitely didn't hurt them any. So, Fayetteville, Bentonville, probably looking at a showdown there in the 7A West for conference supremacy there, which is obviously not too much of a shocker.
Are we pressing the panic button in Titletown? Greenwood has struggled 2 weeks in a row. They lose to Fayetteville, and then Bentonville West goes down there, gives them a game. And Derek, you were there. They could have won. Bentonville West could have won that game.
Had a go-ahead touchdown wiped off the board on a holding call in the final 2 minutes.
Obviously that's different for Greenwood. I mean, they're not being touched over the last couple years, and so yeah, I mean, panic button, you won the game. But, obviously this is a little different Greenwood team. Now, the thing that you've got to understand, and it's not just Greenwood, it's everybody, is that right now you're not the team that you're going to be at the end of the year. So what does Greenwood look like by week 9, week 8? That's going to be the question there. But can they be beaten this year? Well, I think Bentonville West shown that, yes, they can be. They can be touched.
Yeah. There's a little tilt between the 6A and the 7A. Little Rock Christian is going to take on Shiloh Christian up here in Springdale. That is a really, really interesting game on a number of different levels because Shiloh is eventually going to make their way into 7A along with PA and Little Rock Christian.
Yes. It's a very interesting game. This series is an interesting series. Shiloh leads that series 5-2. The interesting thing to me that sticks out is that Shiloh quarterback Cole Creighton got hurt twice. The last 2 seasons in this ball game, he started as a freshman. He got hurt again last year, both broken collarbones. And so now he comes back again and is ready to take the reins. And so, does he play apprehensive a little bit? That's going to be a question there. Little Rock Christian is always a good football team. They're always going to give you their best. But, boy, coming all the way up to Shiloh, it's going to be a tough one. Little Rock Christian won against El Dorado last week, 38-14, and Kemp Keller had 3 touchdown passes in the first half to 3 different wide receivers. They were leading 28-0 at the half. So, Christian is no joke. It's going to be a fun matchup up there in Springdale.
Paragould.
Rams.
You got him. There you go. Brett Caldwell here from the Arkansas Sports Network.
Another one I want to ask you about, and of course it's the Zach Clark portion of the program. But I mean, they're taking on Valley View at home. Valley View is no slouch whatsoever. That is a good football team coming out of the Jonesboro area that a lot of people don't get to see. They're physically sound. They're physical, and they'll give you a game.
Well, really in that Northeast Arkansas area, Valley View is probably the flagship program, and I know that people in Jonesboro will bristle at that. But right now, Valley View is the most successful team up there, and Coach Sean Cockrell does a great job up there. Got that program rolling very well. As promised, I told you that I was going to talk to Zach Clark, and I did talk to Zach on the phone, and he said this is a measuring stick game for those guys. They got beat pretty handily by them last year. He said he thinks that he's got a good football team. He told me he's got a very strong junior class, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So just listening to him, I felt like he felt like they were improved this year, but this is taking my own from this. I think Searcy's going to be good this year, better next year. This is a good game for them. If they can come out with this victory, watch out. I mean, Searcy would be for real.
Yeah, Zach's not one for hyperbole, so if he's telling you he thinks he's got something, he feels pretty good about it.
Yeah, he basically told me that. He said, I don't say this much, but I think he thinks this team's pretty talented at Searcy. So he's got something there. He's got, like I said, a strong junior class, got some sophomores that he mentioned. The funny thing about it is he didn't mention any names, just sophomores, defensive end, sophomore, quarterback, different things of that nature. So I'll have to dig and do a little bit more research. But with that being said, Searcy's a good football team. We've got them as our number 10 team in 5A. They moved into that spot last week, and so we think that they're going to be a team that's going to be right there. Obviously, they've got Little Rock or Robinson in their conference. That's going to be a tough task, but I think that they've really got a chance to finish in a spot to make the playoffs.
Okay, we're talking with Brad Caldwell here from the Arkansas Sports Network. I was looking at a couple of more individual performances that stood out from last week. And what about Wesley Tapp at Conway? 407 yards, 5 total touchdowns for the Wampus Cats last week.
Last year Tapp actually played a lot, and that was with the Wilson kid that's now at Arkansas. And of course, Wilson got hurt early in the season. Tapp stepped in. Tapp is 6'6" at quarterback, so that's an advantage in itself right there. Yeah, he was 13 of 26. He threw for 3 TDs, and Conway put up 68 last week at Jonesboro. Now, they allowed 37, so that's going to be an interesting game when they travel to Bentonville. Bentonville took down Tulsa Union, but is Conway better than Tulsa Union this year? Which is almost blasphemy to even say that. But just reading things that I've read, I feel like that Conway might be a stiffer test.
It's going to be interesting here the next couple of weeks. I want to ask you about a team I got to see personally, and that was Little Rock Central, a much improved program under fourth-year coach Anthony Robinson. The Anthony Kennedy kid, the defensive tackle, is legit, but his brother, Bryson Kennedy, the quarterback at Central, may be the best player on that team by season's end.
Athletes, and more athletes for Central. When Central's good, it's good for Arkansas. I feel like that they're headed in the right direction. They've been down so bad for so long. But Coach Robinson has done a good job of getting them in there. We know how things go anymore with the transfer, dare I say, the transfer portal.
Yeah.
But, they've benefited from that, and they have gotten some players in there. And as you saw firsthand last week, they have improved greatly. Got a lot of good athletes on the team, and so I really think that they're going to be I won't say necessarily a contender for the conference, but I think that they're going to be a contender for the playoff position for sure down there at Central, which we haven't been able to say that for quite a while.
Their best player may be their running back, Ray Stewart. I know he's on the basketball team, but that young man, you can give him the football and he can get you yards.
Yeah. All right, fellas, we're going to take a break here, and we'll continue. We've got more to discuss about high school football with Brad Caldwell from the Arkansas Sports Network. We'll talk about his game tonight. We've got some other games to look ahead to around the state. Can't get to them all, but we'll get to as many as we can here on Ruskin and Zach. Football Friday here on the program is brought to you by Cassano's. Remember, Cassano's for your watch party, your tailgate, whatever it is, Cassano'sPizza.com. There's one near you. They're all over Arkansas. Cassano's Pizza bringing you Football Friday here on Ruskin and Zach. Stay where you are. We've got more coming up.
Since inception, Premier Facilities Group has completed some of the most challenging and rewarding construction projects across Arkansas. Today, our work extends across 4 core markets: commercial and residential building, industrial, and utility. That allows our company to construct projects that help shape and improve the landscape of the River Valley and beyond. A strong local presence and a vast network of resources allows us to provide best-in-class solutions for all of our clients. From small jobs to multi-million-dollar capital projects, PFG's employees and resources are dedicated to serving our clients and delivering strong results.
Look, everybody's talking about D3 Auto Sales, and I say to myself, there must be something special about this dealership, and it's their prices. You can get one of these vehicles right up here for not a lot of money, right? That's D3 Auto Sales in Desert, d3autosales.com.
It's Ruskin and Zach on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
Continuing on this Football Friday with Brad Caldwell from the Arkansas Sports Network. High school football all around the state tonight. We'll talk about some of those games here as we move forward. Bentonville West takes on Cabot down at Cabot. They've never beaten the Panthers. 0-5
Really?
all time, yeah.
Okay.
But I think we learned last night or last week anyway on that in Greenwood that obviously Greenwood's a good team, but Bentonville West's a good football team too. This year, they got a couple of different running backs, so a different change of pace, better on the defensive end, and Trey Thompson is a quarterback that a lot of people are sleeping on, but he's quite a talent there for them. So I think it's going to be a close ball game. It was a close ball game last year, guys. Brad, last year Bentonville West lost in overtime to Cabot up in Centerton, so could be another close ball game between those two.
Yeah, I mean, both of them coming off a loss. They're going to want to get back into that win column. I feel like Coach Pratt there does a really good job at West. I know we talked a lot last year about that schedule that they had. Started off 0-5, but there might not have been a better 0-5 high school team in the country. and they were able to bounce back. And this year, going down to Greenwood and playing them like they did, I think that they've got a real shot to go down to Cabot and play well.
Cabot team, boy, that's a tough place to play. But you go down there and you put points on the board. Cabot's going to you get beat 66-0. You're stinging, but it'll be interesting. Cabot's a different place to go down and play.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love their high school football.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those towns, man.
They love
everybody loves, but there are certain towns that just
I feel like everybody's staring at you when you walk in there.
The whole thing just stops, particularly on a home game on a Friday night, home opener for Cabot. So, yeah, they'll be ready to go down there in Cabot. Your game tonight, people can watch on the Arkansas Sports Network, Brad. Camden Fairview hosting El Dorado. Again, you were telling us two other teams that started out with a loss last week, so they're both going to be hungry to get that first win.
Yeah, both started off with a loss. A little different for each one of them. Camden Fairview took on the defending 4A state champion, Arkadelphia. Arkadelphia's loaded for bear again this year. Our top team in 4A, but let me tell you, Arkadelphia could play up into the 5A. I don't think there's a lot of, anything to be sad about that loss. It was just a 3-point game. And then, of course, El Dorado took on 7A, Little Rock Christian. And we know what Little Rock Christian brings to the table. And as we talked about before, a very high-powered offense there. 38-14 was that final score. This is an underrated rivalry there between Camden and El Dorado. Really not too far, maybe 25 miles apart. Two teams that are usually loaded with athletes. We usually do a lot of small schools, so this is interesting for us to be able to get down there and do a little bit of a bigger school matchup there. We're looking forward to being at Camden Fairview for the first time.
That is that's a tough place to go in and play. A town that falls in love with their football team. It can be one of those really inhospitable places to go play. Make it really, really difficult on a visiting team.
100%, especially when it's a rivalry game. So we're looking forward to being there. It's going to be a good matchup between the two, and we're really trying to bring you some of the best high school matchups across the state, no matter what size the school is, and we're looking forward to doing another one tonight.
Glen Rose.
Beavers.
Man, I'm going to get you. At some point, I'm going to get you with one of the smaller schools. I promise.
I'm just going to tell you. Listen, you're probably going to have to go into 1A basketball. Really?
Oh yeah.
To get me.
Okay. All right. Okay. Challenge accepted. I'll do my best on that one. Game that I think Derek and I both have our eye on or will be watching is Conway at Bentonville. This has become a real rivalry. These teams play every year in the non-con, but you've got two teams playing almost at the top of their game right now.
Yeah, this is a really good matchup, and as I said before, could Conway be a tougher matchup than Tulsa Union? I mean, the Conway program, basically right now they're waiting for a state championship. They haven't won one since 1993, and they brought Buck James in to do that. And I think that they're right on the cusp. I can tell you that. I mean, it is right there. They're going to be a team that is going to be formidable. The thing that Conway's got to be able to do is get over the Bryant hump. If they can do that, then they put themselves in a good position. But Bentonville's hanging out there right there as well. Of course, we know that Fayetteville is formidable as well. So you've got those four teams, in my opinion, are the teams that to look out for in the 7A. And this particular matchup, it's going to be interesting to see how the Bentonville defense matches up against the Conway offense that just hung 68 points and had a quarterback that threw for 407 yards. They had three wide receivers that ended up with over 100 yards receiving, and that was Cambrian Blackman, Alex McCrary, and Elijah McCollum. All three of those guys went over 100 yards. So they've got something to contend with there. Great matchup there at Bentonville, and I think it's going to be one of the best, if not the best matchup in the state.
Let's look at some other games here, Brad. Elkins and Dardanelle. Tell us why we've highlighted this game tonight.
Well, these are two of the top programs in the 4A. We actually have Dardanelle at number 2, and we have Elkins at number 4 right now in the 4A. And those two teams met up last year, and Elkins smacked them. They beat them 51-0. But from that point forward, Dardanelle continued to get better and better and better. until the fact that they hosted Arkadelphia in the playoffs and really gave Arkadelphia all that they wanted there at Dardanelle in the quarterfinals. And that really was almost a state championship matchup, because if Dardanelle had won that game, they would have ended up in the state title game. And what an interesting matchup that would have been. You know, Elkins has got to come to the River Valley this year and try to pull that win off. This is going to be the first home game for Dardanelle this season, and I think they only played 3 home games last year. So they're looking forward to a great matchup there, and I just think that this is going to be a fun one. Coach Zach Watson there at Elkins does a phenomenal job with that team. He has really lifted that program up to being one of the top in the 4A. So this is going to be the best matchup in 4A, no doubt about it, and really one of the better matchups in the state.
Mount Ida taking on Junction City. I always pick games by who has the best Darriette, and that is without question Mount Ida. So I'm kind of sliding over to the Mount Ida side. But Junction City, that's one of those programs, if they're good, they're really, really good.
Yes, and it does look like they could be bouncing back. And last year, everybody had Junction City as winning the state championship, and they started off slow and then picked it up as the year went on, and they ended up going to Conway Christian. They led that game last year in the semifinals by 2 touchdowns at halftime. Conway Christian was able to come back and win that ball game and ultimately win the state championship. But, man, athletes upon athletes there at Junction City, and when they're in 2A, they really are a team to be reckoned with. They've bounced from 2A to 3A quite a bit. Seems like they have a little more trouble in 3A. But in 2A, they usually are right there at the top, and I look for them to be there again. Mount Ida is a team right now that is at the top of 2A, a team that brings back a lot of starters. They lost their running back Woodfield last year. Ben Woodfield. He was our 2A player of the year last year, but really bring back almost everybody else, and they've got a really good shot at being at the top as well. This could be a state title matchup here early in the season. They're matching up at OBU on a neutral site, and it's going to be a great one to watch.
Perryville.
Mustangs.
All right, Brad, what about Glen Rose taking on Malvern tonight?
Wait, Glen Rose, what a performance they had last week by going up in class and beating Bauxite. I will tell you, there might be a lot of people sleeping on Glen Rose this year. Bring back a lot themselves, and they are a very physical football team. Every year they're going to be physical. And they were able to overcome Bauxite, and I felt like Bauxite really had a chance to be a good team this year. Not to say that they don't now just because of this loss, but I think this is a sneaky good matchup, another 4A7 matchup there for the Glen Rose Beavers. So it's going to be an interesting one. They're just like 10 miles apart, if that, maybe not even that. And I know that this one means a lot to Glen Rose. They haven't won that ball game in a while, so I'm going to be interested to see what happens with that one.
Hot Springs Lakeside's on the road at Sheridan. My ex-wife went to Lakeside, so I'm all in on Sheridan. What do you got on this one?
Oh, that's a great matchup. I mean, you're talking about a Lakeside team that I think people are probably sleeping on a little bit. We've got them at number 5 in our 5A poll, but, man, they really could be a top 3 team there right now. They smacked Lake Hamilton last week. Just really manhandled them. 55-20 was the final score. I'm not sure it was as close as that. And then you've got Sheridan right now. Isaiah Stevens is a kid that Kevin Kelly called the best player he's ever coached. He's got an offer from the University of North Carolina right now, which after Monday night, I don't know if that's really all that important.
Well, they need him. They need him today.
They need help.
They need him. They need him for sure. And I'm just totally kidding, by the way, Kevin Kelly, if you're listening. With that said, I feel like this is going to be another great matchup. I don't know who to pick on this one. I think that this is another top 2 or 3 matchup in the state.
Yes,
give me a couple of teams that you think are on the rebound this week. Maybe some teams that kind of took it on the chin week 1, but they're not in panic mode yet.
Well, Camden Fairview would be one of them. I think that they've got a real shot to bounce back in this week. Monticello is one that's interesting to me as well. We were there at that ball game. That game was 20-18 going into the fourth quarter, and 2 pick sixes later, it was over.
Wow.
They're interesting. I mentioned this kid before, and I felt like he really showed out. Probably didn't get enough carries the other night, but Fordyce did a really good job of controlling the clock. But Joseph Aculus is a kid that he is explosive. He had a 71-yard touchdown run Friday night, and I feel like Monticello could bounce back. That's an interesting matchup that they have with Bauxite. Those two teams are really looking to bounce back. I would like to know who's going to play quarterback for Monticello. Starter came in, very good athletic type of kid, but then they brought a kid in. Last name is Harvey. I don't think he's the coach's son, and he just really gave them a spark. And I'm interested to see what they do there. Aculus and a passing game to go along with it should help Monticello bounce back.
All right, Brad Caldwell, Arkansas Sports Network. Find their game tonight. Came to Fairview and El Dorado. Thank you, Brad. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, Football Friday marches on, presented by Casanos.
Hey, good evening, and I'm Stephen Glenn. It's great to be back in the broadcast booth for Week 1, game number 2, and how the AAA figures that, I don't know. But we are ready for Week number 2 of high school football on Friday night here on the Arkansas Sports Network, and Coach Brian Russ joins us as the head coach of the Apaches. And, Coach, thank you for your time this morning.
Yes, sir.
It's a busy day as you all get ready to go on the road. Your opening game at home against Heber, I thought as far as opening game goes, it went very well. You did a lot of good things.
Yeah, we got the win. Most important thing, and that's kind of what I told the kids. And again, at the end of the game, I kind of talking to them, and I said, guys, I want to say we're really close to being a great team. At this point in the season, but great teams don't do what we did and turn the ball over like we did. But at the same time, all the guys that fumbled and kind of turned the ball over were all guys that don't have much experience in a high school football game. Most of them were juniors, and then, of course, Stancil, being a senior. But, we really worked him hard on defense. We needed him really bad last year defensively. This year, we need him both sides. But, that's his first time to really carry the ball in a high school game and get hit. He's doing a lot of the hitting most of the time, but that's the first time, he's really had to do that in a real game. And, it's a whole different world.
Well, it's a different hit when somebody from the other team is hitting you, not your own guys in practice.
That's right. And so, it's just experience factor. And, I think we're just going to continue to get better and get better as the season goes. I just feel like these guys are really locked in on what they want to accomplish. And, in practice, you see it. Our leadership is really, really good right now with our senior bunch and our junior class. They want to succeed.
I thought, just from watching the ball game, and I really only watched about the first half, maybe first 3 quarters, I thought Court Johnson looked really comfortable in the offense. Seemed like last year, like in the playoff game, it looked like he was having to think about what to do and then do it. And the game against Heber, he just did it. It just came automatically, it seemed like.
It really, and again, that's kind of a testament to what these guys are about and who these guys are. From last year to this year, we've had a concerted effort of multiple kids, from Caleb Stancil to Kagan Jones to Court Johnson. Court Johnson, as soon as we finished last year's football season, he came in at least once a week, sometimes twice a week in the mornings all through basketball season, just going over film, just watching himself, trying to get coached up, trying to get better. And, of course, he kind of had the injury. We couldn't throw a whole lot, so he got to do a lot of film work. And him and Coach Jones sit down for, at least 30, 40 minutes, at least one day a week, maybe 2 days a week, even all through basketball season. Then once we got into off season for him, he just put in the time and put in the effort, and all those guys. You look at Caleb and you look at Kagan. Both of those guys have put on 15 pounds. And again, whenever you have leadership like that, like the kids are leading right now, everybody starts to follow it, and it becomes contagious, and you're just really going in the right direction.
That was one thing I was going to ask about Kagan. It looked like he has gotten bigger and stronger, but I don't think it's slowed him down, has it?
No, really hadn't. He just has put in the work, and and really wants to be successful, and just a tremendous kid, doing everything he needs to do. And again, last year you could kind of see in games he was, I don't know the right exact term of maybe a little hesitant, a little nervous, whatever you want to put. Well, he's that confidence he's gained in the weight room and just being the kid that he is, and seeing that success transfer to the field now. I think he's just going to keep getting better and better.
Defensively, it looked like your guys were flying to the ball. It looked like they were reading things correctly the first time.
Yeah. Well, we had some moments for sure, and again, but you give up 7, and we didn't give that up till late. I really never worried. I was all with opportunities we had. I thought, man, we needed to kind of put them away a little bit, but we didn't, and so I was a little bit nervous. But then the defense just kept standing up and making plays, and again, we've got a lot of experience back in the secondary, and it's kind of the opposite of the offensive part. Defensively, that whole back end of our defense played the entire year last year, so they've got that experience, and it showed at times. Just not giving up the huge play. There's some moments where they made a couple of good throws and catches, but we track them down and we make them, get them back in the huddle, and again. You can look through the Hootens and things like that, and you can see Heber. They had probably 2 or 3 guys in there that were 4-6 type kids. Some serious speed out there, and we kept them locked up. Most of the night.
All right, we're on the road tonight. First road game of the season in Charleston, the home of the Tigers. We'll come back with Coach Rust here on the pregame show, and we'll talk about one of the most successful programs in the state, the Charleston Tigers. We'll be back with more Pottsville Apache football after this timeout. You're with the Arkansas Sports Network.
Since inception, Premier Facilities Group has completed some of the most challenging and rewarding construction projects across Arkansas. Today, our work extends across 4 core markets: commercial and residential building, industrial, and utility. That allows our company to construct projects that help shape and improve the landscape of the River Valley and beyond. A strong local presence and a vast network of resources allows us to provide best-in-class solutions for all of our clients. From small jobs to multi-million-dollar capital projects, PFG's employees and resources are dedicated to serving our clients and delivering strong results.
I'm Stephen Glenn. We'll bring in Jim Huffman. We'll talk about tonight's game on the road against the Charleston Tigers. Coach Rush, you take a look at Charleston's homepage for their athletic team and their football team, and you see state championship, state championship, state championship. These guys know what it takes to win.
They really do, and it's been a long time. Even back whenever I was in high school, and they hadn't quite got to that level yet then, but it was forming, and again, being 20 miles from Boonville, it's a huge thing there, and it's one of those deals where I think just community and everything, it's stuff that we're trying to build here. But they've had the length and the longevity of having success for an extended period of time, and it's just one of those things where you can feel it when you go there.
And this team, Charleston, they have an awful lot of players back from last year. This is a very experienced group, is it not?
Absolutely. Offensively, they've got everybody back. And so it's one of those things, and it's kind of what I've told the guys all week is, this is the perfect game for us right now. This is the perfect game to go measure what we're good at, what we're bad at, because we haven't, offensively, we haven't seen a team that can do what they can do. And, again, whenever you're a state title contender in 3A, you're going to be good, and you're going to put us in some bad positions, and put us in positions where we're going to have to rise up and make plays and do all those things. So, and again, anytime you go into a game like this, I think the biggest thing is you just want to play good. You want to play good and do some good things and stuff to build on, and at the same time, you want to see what you're bad at. Our guys, at this point, we don't know exactly. We know we're bad at a few things, but we know we're really good at some things too. So we want to see more of that, and this time of year, that's what you're trying to do, is trying to isolate all those things that you've got to get better at and just keep improving on them.
Charleston's defense plays with 3 down linemen an awful lot. Those 3 young men all look big, strong, fast, perfect for 3-man defensive line, especially their nose guard. Looks like he might be have the physical gifts to maybe play on Saturdays.
Yeah, they've got several guys, and defensively was not their strong suit last year. They've got quite a few of those guys back also, so they've got that year of experience. They're going to be better. And again, the nose guard, they've got a big tackle that can move. The linebackers are a lot better than they were last year. And of course, in the secondary, they've got a lot of those guys back because they're all the skilled guys that play offense. They've got a lot of guys that go both ways and don't leave the field just like we do. And again, we've got a game under our belt, and so we may have a slight advantage early on with that. So again, we're going to have to play a good game to stay in it with them. So.
As we record this, it's actually early in the morning on Friday. We're supposed to get a weather front through. Some rain is supposed to come through. It's still kickoff time. A lot will be pretty humid. Will that play a factor?
Well, it did last week, and it's kind of one of those things when you go into it. We scrimmaged Perryville, and again, maybe not to the level that they were the previous year. And going into a scrimmage, you don't ever know because it's a new year every year, and so our starters really didn't get a whole lot of playing time in that scrimmage. And then we come out Friday, and it wasn't hot, but it was a little bit humid. And again, whenever you talk about high school kids, you can tell them, but until they realize it and see it happen to them with the cramps and things like that, whenever it wasn't just crazy hot, I think now this week they've prepared a lot better.
Lots of bananas at the Apache training table, huh?
Yes.
All right, junior high football last night. How'd the junior Apaches look?
Oh, great night. We came out and got on them and stayed on them, and I think the final score was 27-7. Our seventh grade Apache, we hadn't quite figured it all out yet with those guys there. Lost a heartbreaker in the last minute of the game to Charleston, but great night for the junior Apaches, and hopefully we're going to keep building that seventh grade bunch.
All right, for me, as I broadcast the game tonight, Brother Jim and I work together. What's one of the things we need to look for as far as the key to Pottsville having success on the road?
Well, obviously, anytime you go on the road, I mean, you've got to show up, and again, the turnovers, I think, are probably the biggest factor in a situation like this. If you want to go beat a good team on the road, you can't turn the ball over.
All right. Coach Russ, good luck tonight.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
I'm Stephen Glenn. We'll come back. This time we'll be in Charleston, and we'll tell you what's going on at Tiger Stadium when we bring Jeff Humpton in on the stream. We'll be back with more Pottsville Apache football in just a moment.
Well, hello again, sports fans, and welcome to the Arkansas Sports Network's Game of the Week. Tonight's broadcast is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales, by Arkansas Tech University, by Tyson Foods, by Premier Facilities Group, and by Metcalf Trucking Company. Here we go, Arkansas. Are you ready? Tonight, the Pottsville Apaches come in hot after last week's win and hope to keep the momentum alive. The Charleston Tigers open their season at home tonight, bringing fresh energy and hungry playmakers eager to make a statement in their first game. Pottsville Apaches, Charleston Tigers. It's going to be a good one, folks. Buckle that chin strap, folks. It's time for kickoff.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to beautiful downtown Charleston, home of Tiger Stadium at 2121 Trumbull Avenue in Detroit, Michigan. Wrong Tiger Stadium, I'm sorry. But it is a beautiful Tiger Stadium here. All the pageantry you could want from high school football we're getting here now in Charleston at the home of the Tigers. Brother Jim, it's good to be with you again.
Well, Steve, it's good to have you back. Justin and I both concur on that.
Yes, sir.
We sure did miss you last week. But, yes, this Charleston Tiger Stadium is actually on Dale Bumper's lane or road or street, which leads up to the Tigers Center here in beautiful Franklin County on a Friday night.
Boy, this is going to be a fun night tonight. We were watching all the pregame activity, and as you can see on our stream, Charleston is doing I don't know if they call it a Hawaii night or an island night, but they're all down there in their island gear, and they're welcoming their Tigers to the field. The Charleston School District does not have a huge band, but they really sounded good on the national anthem. That was fun to sing with them.
Well, Steve, you're talking about, they're having a luau night. Usually at a luau, what do you have to eat?
Pig.
Pig. What did we have to eat tonight?
Pig.
All right. It was very good.
And we got to take a second to say nice things about Backstreet Barbecue in downtown Charleston. If you ever get a chance to come to Charleston and looking for a place to eat, it's right across the street from Hug Chevrolet, and trust me, you can't miss Hug Chevrolet. But what I had, all I could eat was one rib, and I'm stuffed, so I have about 27 of them I'm taking home. I noticed the burger that you had was pretty good.
It was pretty good, Steve. It was pretty good.
Justin had a loaded baked potato about the size of the state of Alaska.
It was delicious. Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
So we're stuffed, and we're ready for some high school football. Yeah. Charleston has won the toss as the captains met at the 50-yard line. They defer to the second half. The Apaches say, we want the ball first. So we'll get a look at Court Johnson and Kagan Jones and the rest of the Apache offense when we return after this 1-minute timeout. This is Pottsville Apache football.
The Arkansas Sports Network Basketball Classic tips off January 3rd in Clinton. Some of the state's best teams. One unforgettable day of hoops. Don't wait. Secure your seats now before they're gone. Get your tickets for the ASN Basketball Classic at facebook.com/ARSportsNetHS and ARSportsNet. Or you can click the QR code at the bottom of the screen. Supporting the Pottsville Apaches all season long, Smooth Running, Heating and Air, E&F Roofing, Fleet Tire, Point S Tire and Auto Service, The Granite Shop, Tyler Riley of River Valley Realty, Van Horn Welding, and Tyson Foods, Metcalf Trucking, and Premier Facilities Group. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe if you're enjoying tonight's broadcast.
Good to be back at Charleston's Tiger Stadium as the Charleston welcoming tunnel is out on the field. They're out there welcoming their Tigers to the Hey Song, which, by the way, the first time I heard that was actually at a hockey arena in Canada. And believe it or not, in Canada, they sing that song. It actually has lyrics.
Really? Hey.
Yeah, beyond hey. I couldn't tell you what they are. That's been, I've slept since I've been to a hockey game in Canada, but that was exciting.
Well, did a fight break out, Steve?
No, believe it or not. That's hard to imagine. The Apaches are out onto the field. Gavin Scott leading the team to the field with the American flag at the front of the Apache tribe taking the field. Good crowd from Pottsville. We ran into several while we were having dinner, and I see even more, lots of yellow and black and gold. And we're on the visitor sideline, and nice facility to work from here in Charleston.
It is. The bleachers are kind of tough to get up, but other than that, once you get here, it's pretty nice.
Well, maybe we're just old.
Maybe you're right.
The officials are out on the field. The cheerleaders for Charleston lead the team out onto the field.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. I like the way they do things here. This is a fun environment. I don't know if we are coming back here again anytime soon, but if you do, put it on your calendar. This is fun. Not a bad drive from Pottsville.
Not a bad, about an hour 15, maybe,
Yep.
hour 20?
Something like that.
And go to Backstreet Barbecue.
Yeah, go to Backstreet Barbecue. I'll have that for lunch tomorrow and the next day. And, oh, by the way, I had the smallest order of ribs you can get off of their menu. Go look up my Facebook page. You'll see a picture of what was left over. That was the small. They have twice that size if you wish. So the Apaches are going to have the football first. Coach Rust wanting to get the offense on the field early, which frankly surprises me just a little bit. Kagan Jones will be on one side of the return formation for the Apaches. Noah Metcalf on the other side. Pottsville's got some speed in the return game.
Yeah, Steve, even the upbacks. Number 18, that is Eli Morris, and he is one that's got some speed as well, along with number 3, Keaton Ashmore. So you just get ready for those guys. And then, of course, along the way, you got number 25 for the Apaches. That is Caleb Stansel, and we know about that young man. And then also number 2, our main man, Kai Mahan.
Bryce Beeson handles the kicking chores for the Tigers. Charleston will kick off from right to left across your video screen. Pottsville in their road white and gold uniforms. Charleston at home in their tiger black. And unlike the Missouri Tigers, they don't have any gold on the uniform. Which, frankly, I prefer, even though I'm from Missouri. Here we go. Beeson on the run-up from the right side hash. His boot is long. And to the left side, taken at the 10-yard line. Return up the hash to the 20. Open field at the 30. Near side comes Noah Metcalf, but this is coming back. Metcalf's going to get to the 30. He's marked out of bounds. Might have been tackled by a horse collar, but there's a penalty flag at the 40-yard line. I'm sorry to say this is coming back.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I think it was either a block in the back, Steve, or a holding.
And it was right where Metcalf hit open field.
Yeah, so guess where it was.
It mattered.
Holding.
Oh, bad break for the Apaches because Pottsville was about to set up in Charleston Tiger territory. But that was that speed for you. Boy, when Metcalf hit open field, you weren't catching him unless you had an angle.
Well, it's going to be a 10-yard penalty. It is a spot foul, so they will start on the 30.
Yeah, that's not so bad, right?
Yeah. Except you were going to start on their 30.
Blake Finley and Landon Majors and Mr. Rust on the inside. They lead the offense to the line of scrimmage. Court Johnson is your quarterback. Kagan Jones, the single back in the backfield. Pottsville opens with trips to the left side at the 30. Charleston angles the defense to the left. Johnson gives it to Jones, tries to cut back inside, and he's met by a host of black shirts. Looked like it was Lucas Burleson making the stop for very little gain, maybe a yard.
Yeah, number 7 there came in from that defensive end, or actually it was outside linebacker position, and made the stop for the Charleston Tigers.
Whatever his key was, he read it perfectly. 2nd down and 9 to go for the Apaches. Keaton Ashmore comes wide to the near side, single wide out to the left. Offset I formation in the backfield, almost a power I, and a whistle at the snap. The officials blow the play dead. I didn't see a flag come in.
Well, there's one on the far side, Steve.
And Tigers, I'm guessing, lined up offside.
Yep.
Although if they lined up offside, wouldn't you let the play go? Oh, well, so something else.
Well, you know, and it looked like it was going to be a busted play for the Apaches.
Well, that's true, yeah, because right off the bat, it looked like the front 3 of the Tigers had penetration into the backfield. So good break for the Apaches as they pick up 5 yards on the penalty. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Wing to the left side, single back of the backfield, and now they bring the wingman in motion. Johnson's read is to cut it back inside at the 35, but he's got nowhere to go there. Good positioning by the Tiger defense, staying in his lane. Maddox Terry made that play. Looks like he made it over an Apache blocker as well.
Yeah, I think Court Johnson that time, as soon as he turned up, he said, man, I should have pitched.
Yep. I think the correct read there might have been pitch, but, you know, it's early in the season.
It is early in the season, Steve, and you know, this Charleston defense, man, they can give you a false look, and, man, they close very quickly.
May even lost a half yard on that play. Let's call it 3rd down and 4 for the Apaches from their own 35. They motion the man out of the backfield, and the 2 wideouts start too soon. Charleston was bringing an outside blitz on that play too. So the yards Pottsville got on the Tiger penalty will go back the other way. It'll be 3rd down, almost 10. Nose of the football is right at the 30-yard line where the Apaches started. And to the sounds of Crazy Train, the Apaches come to the 30-yard line. On the right side hash, empty backfield, 5 wideouts. This will have to come out quickly. Tigers showing blitz both in the middle and on the outside. Johnson has his play call. Finn Schmiles is coming with a blitz up the middle. Carry coming from the left. Apaches on a bubble screen. It's complete to Ashmore. Keaton across the 40-yard line to the 42 behind some very good blocking by Blake Finley. And that's going to be an Apache 1st down.
Oh, Steve, man, that was a beautifully executed play that time by Court Johnson, the blockers, and then Ashmore making a catch and finding 1st down yardage.
I saw that in the video that I had a chance to see of Charleston. Paris in their scrimmage had success repeatedly on that flanker bubble screen. 1st and 10 Pottsville. Johnson, option left. He's going to toss it this time to the pitch man. And a nice job by Caleb Stansel to come up with it. Got good blocking across the 41 to the 44, maybe the 45-yard line. 4 yards and a cloud of turf.
Yeah, we'll take it.
That's the way this offense works. 2nd down and 7 coming for the Apaches. Johnson with his first full season as the starting quarterback. He got a lot of time in last year, especially in the playoff game. Noah Metcalf coming to the near side. He's going to be the wideout. Kagan Jones is going to be in the slot. Single wideout to the short side left. Quick snap, power to the right side across the 47 to the 48-yard line. That's going to pick up about 3 yards. Stansel, the ball carrier. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 5, maybe 4. Let's call it 3rd and 4.
Steve, I believe we're in 4-down territory here, but we'd sure like to pick up the 1st down on this next play.
And by the way, the cold front that's supposed to move through is moving through. The wind has picked up. It's blowing left to right across the field as the Apaches are moving. It's blowing from the Charleston side to the Apache side. 3rd down, about 4. Ball on the left hash. Johnson, there their flanker screen, and it's intercepted, and this is going to go to the house. Mateo Genoa with the interception at the 40-yard line, and it'll be a touchdown, Charleston. You could see that coming.
Boy, that was, especially from where we're at, that was a really scary throw, and we found out the reason why, because that was just a pick 6 by number 2.
Mateo Gaona.
Mateo Gaona. Oski and a pick 6.
Yep. Charleston has their kicker out on the field. Looks like Bryce Beeson also handles the extra point, and lightning has struck at Tiger Stadium. 6-0 Charleston with the lead. That's got their home crowd fired up. And we have a false start, I think. Or they call timeout.
Offsides on the defense, half the distance to the goal.
Oh, they call offsides on the Apaches?
Yeah, wow.
Huh. How do you have offside on the defense before the ball snapped?
Yeah, and how come the flag's in the offensive backfield if they're offside?
Oh, well.
Yeah.
So it looks like Charleston may line up and go for 2 with that half the distance to the goal call. Their quarterback, Lucas Burleson's in the game. The snap is bad, and Pottsville's going to stop the 2-point conversion. I think maybe the Tigers got greedy there. The 2-point conversion fails, and with 8:14 to go in the first quarter, it is the Tigers 6, Pottsville nothing. We're back in 30 seconds.
During the Great Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
2-point conversion failed. You wonder if that may come back and haunt the Tigers before we're all said and done. 6-0, hometown Tigers with the lead. Their fans like that. It's almost filled in completely across the way.
Yeah. Scotty Bly is listening tonight. He sent me a message, said we're sounding good, and he was telling me back in his day that this actually was the home side back in the day.
Yeah, I can remember that.
Yeah.
I think maybe the first time we did a game from here, this was the home side. We all worked out of this box. All right, Kagan Jones, Noah Metcalf back deep to receive the kick. It's going to come to Metcalf's side of the field again at the 10. He'll hit the wall at about the 20-yard line, and the wall is broken down by the Tigers with good coverage. Return is across the 20 to the 21-yard line before the tackle is made by Garrett Smithson and a host of Tigers. Pottsville will take over 1st and 10. Deep in their own territory at the 22-yard line.
Well, Steve, hopefully on this series we won't get behind schedule. You know, we need to pick up those 3 or 4 yards every play and pick up those first downs instead of trying to go 3rd and long.
By the way, if you haven't noticed, this Charleston defense is very good. Zane Donnenberger is the nose tackle in what is a 3-4 defense, and then they walk up a man on the right side. Johnson back to pass, has a man on the slant. That's Morris complete. He fights his way across the 40 to the 41-yard line. That's another Apache 1st and 10, and that's a good throw and catch.
Great throw and catch that time. Court Johnson found Eli Moore, Steve, and just found him in that soft spot right behind the linebacking crew for the Charleston Tigers.
Tigers seem content to play a cover 2 shell. And if that's the case, Johnson may well pick them apart. In fact, looks like this time they've switched to either man-to-man or cover 3. 1st and 10 from their own 41, offset eye. Johnson gives it to the fullback. Dive right up the middle. That's Caleb Stansel across the 44 to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, they was trying to rip the ball out, but he was already down, so people were shouting fumble.
Now, Lawson Webb with the stop coming up from his linebacker position, but not until the Apaches have picked up 4 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 6. 7:16 to go, quarter number 1. The Apaches trail 6-0. Pottsville on the move from their own 45. Slot right, single wide out left. Johnson in the pistol with a single back behind him. Charleston adjusts their defense to the right. Johnson back to pass, under pressure, rolling right, throws it over the middle. That's going to be short at the 39-yard line, and I think Charleston's pass rusher got a hand on that.
Yeah, I think it was number 22, Steve.
I believe so. I believe it was Maddox Terry who got a hand on the pass. Good blocking by the Apache offensive line. They gave Court all kinds of time, but by the time he found an open receiver, the pass rush had got there and got a hand on the ball. From the 45-yard line, and I'm going to echo what you said last time, I think this may well be 4-down territory, even on 3rd down and 6. From the right hash, Johnson takes it straight ahead across the 46 to the 47-yard line. Stansel, the ball carrier. He's going to pick up 2, and it's going to bring up 4th down and a long 4.
Well, we're going to find out what we're doing, and it looks like we're going to go for it.
Yep.
But, you know, last week they actually lined up in a regular position, and it was actually a drop kick or just a, what do you call it?
Pooch punt?
Pooch punt. Pooch punt.
We'll see. There's 2 wideouts. No tight end. Well, the tight end's on the left side. I'm sorry. We're strong side left. Johnson with a long snap count. Now they walk Stansel up, and I think that's what we're going to get. I think Pottsville's going to punt it here. Johnson takes the snap. Yeah, it's a pooch kick. Beautiful high end over end kick. Charleston has nobody back. Ball hits at the 10, rolls to the left side, and down Keaton Ashmore to down it at about the 4-yard line.
Yeah.
Well, Charleston will have their first possession, but they'll start deep in their own territory.
Yeah, Steve, I think they actually moved it. I think they moved it down almost to the 3rd or the 3-yard line. We'll see. Let's see where they spot it.
It's between the 4 and the 3.
Yeah.
Nose reaching right up toward the 4-yard line, so we'll go with that. Charleston deep in their own end zone. The defense wants to power up here if they can. Charleston is a spread formation team. Their quarterback's pretty good at throwing the football, and he is experienced. Their quarterback, I believe, is Curtis in the back. Excuse me, not Curtis. It is Little in the backfield. Flanker pass complete to the right side at the 10. Fighting his way across the 11 or 12-yard line. Completed to Maddox Terry. Pickup of 8 on the play.
Yeah, that was Caleb Stansel defending for the Pottsville Apaches, coming up and making the tackle.
Let's call it 7 on the pickup. 2nd down and 3. Carter Little, the quarterback. Pistol formation. They're going to give it to the man in the backfield. That handoff went to Jared Smithson, and I believe he's going to cross the 15 to the 16, and that's going to give the Tigers a first down. I had a counter look to it. May have been a trap walk on the inside. 6-0 Charleston with the lead. 5:13 to go in the first quarter. Little, the quarterback, goes to the right side, gets across the 15, and then stood up at the 17-yard line. Handoff was to Garrett Smithson, and the Apache defense, the whole left side of the defense got there.
Well, they sure did.
In fact, they stopped him for no gain on the play. That went on a very quick count. Carter Little in the backfield with a single back. 2nd down and 9. Charleston has trips to the left, one wide out to the right. Little takes the pass, waggles to the left, throws it over the middle, has a man deep, and it is caught at the 42-yard line. Pass complete to Bryson Wibbling. Good coverage actually by Eli Morris. Just a better play by the receiver for Charleston.
Yeah, Morris was actually in position, and it was just a great throw and a great catch.
Yeah, Morris had his hand on the ball, just couldn't quite rip it free. Charleston deep in Apache territory, or at least on the Apache side of the field. Little back to pass, complete to Gayola from out of the backfield. He'll cross the 40 to the 39-yard line. He'll be tackled after a pickup of 2, maybe 3, as Kagan Jones makes the stop. Well, that was a pretty throw and catch against pretty good defense.
Well, Steve, it was.
Carter Little really put that ball out there. They're going to call that a pickup of 4, so we'll say 2nd and 6 at the Apache 38-yard line. Pottsville already down 6-0. Trips to the right, single wide out to the left. Little, the quarterback. Only man in the backfield is Smithson. He gets the give, angling right, and runs into a host of Apaches. Good job in the middle by Sean Carroll making the stop.
Yeah.
He got some help from the opposite side of the field by Connor Mitchell. Pickup of a yard, maybe. It's going to be 3rd and 5. Again, trips to the right.
Connor Mitchell is one of those Pottsville Apaches wrestlers, too.
Pottsville in a 3-man line. They bring a blitz. Little rolls to the right, has a pass over the middle. It's going to be complete to Gayano, and I think he's going to have first down yardage close to the 27-yard line. Gayano with the 1st and 10. Good timing on that pass. As I told you in the pregame show, this is an experienced Charleston offense. These guys have played together for a couple of years.
And Stephen, you can tell it.
Court Johnson came up, or excuse me, not Court Johnson. Eli Morris came up and made the stop. All due respect to the PA announcer, he had the wrong guy. That's all right. Carter Little with a single man in the backfield. Direct snap, looks left all the way. Pass is going to be complete to Wibbling. He's going to get down to the 18 to the 15-yard line. Wibbling with the reception. Keaton Ashmore makes the stop, but out after a pickup of 11 yards.
11-yard gain on the reception, first down and 10 Tigers. Ball on the 15-yard line.
Tiger center is Gabe Bauschy. He has his quarterback Little in the shotgun. They bring a motion man across the formation. Screen pass coming. It falls incomplete. Penalty flag on the play. That might have been an illegal downfield block on the screen. Oh, they're going to call it, well, it's an illegal downfield block, but it's a hold.
Yeah.
Pottsville had that screen covered very well, too. The offensive lineman kind of bit on the screen action, but the secondary stayed with their responsibilities. There was really no good place to throw that ball.
You hear the Pottsville fans hitting their backup beepers. Beep, beep, Back them up, back them up.
Loss of 10 on the play on the illegal use of hands, holding call. First down and 20 as the ball is at the 25-yard line. Garrett Smithson, the only back in the backfield beside Carter Little. They're going to give it to Smithson. Trap play up the middle. Pottsville with a nice job staying home on that one. Very little pickup on the play as Caleb Stansel came knifing in to make the tackle. Pickup of 2, maybe 3. Let's call it 2nd and 18 for the Tigers. Watch for the fade route to the right side. The coaches spent a lot of time looking at Maddox Terry there. And they have single coverage to that right side. Now that'd be a long throw for the quarterback, Little. Now they bring a man in motion from right to left. Now they're looking right now back to the left. Under pressure. Throw over the middle is going to be incomplete. That ball came out funny. I wonder if an Apache defender may have got a hand on that.
I think he did, Steve. I couldn't tell who it was.
Might have been. It looked like for the Apaches it was Hayden Wachtendorf who put some pressure right in the face of Carter Little.
Yeah, number 54.
Yep.
Yep.
Big third down coming here. It's going to be 3rd down and 17. Tigers have to get down to very close to the 5-yard line to pick up the first down. Again, well, they got 4 wideouts to the right side of the formation. Single wideout left. Watch for the fade in the corner on this near side. Kagan Jones has man-to-man coverage. Now they're going to roll the pocket to the right, and Pottsville knocked it away, incomplete. Now Pottsville tried to get the interception, but now it's skipped. I had a good look at it. Nice play by Andrew Wells closing on the ball. It is incomplete, and I believe the official had that call correct.
Well, is Andrew Wells, is he a shortstop? Because it looked like he shortstopped,
Yep, nice short hop there.
Yeah.
But no, the official was right on top of the plate. He had to call right.
Well, but he was close to picking that one off. He was close, but it did hit the turf.
The Tigers going for this 4th down and 17 at the Apache 22. Well, let's see, from here it'd be a 40-yard field goal, so it probably does make sense to go for it. Not a lot of high school kickers have that kind of range. So big play coming with 1:37 to go in the quarter. The officials blow it dead. Tigers took a timeout there. They were confused on that play, and Coach Ricky May used a timeout. 1:37 to go in the first. Charleston 6, Pottsville nothing. We're back with a big 4th down play in 30 seconds.
Has completed some of the most challenging and rewarding construction projects across Arkansas. Today, our work extends across 4 core markets: commercial and residential building, industrial, and utility. That allows our company to construct projects that help shape and improve the landscape of the River Valley and beyond. A strong local presence and a vast network of resources allows us to provide best-in-class solutions for all of our clients. From small jobs to multi-million-dollar capital projects, PFG's employees and resources are dedicated to serving our clients and delivering strong results.
He made a minute ago. He played that perfectly and gave quarterback Carter Little, who is very accomplished at throwing the ball, he gave him no place to put it. You'd have had to have Patrick Mahomes' arms to have fit that in because of Wells' coverage. All right, what do we have 4th down here for the Tigers? 4th and 17. They are at their 23. Carter Little, the quarterback, moving from right to left. Smithson in the backfield, trips right, 1 wide out left. Little back to pass, looking left. He's going to roll left. Now under pressure, throws it into the end zone, has a man. Touchdown, Charleston.
Wow.
Kagan Jones fell down in coverage there, and a good throw to the end zone for the touchdown. Big 4th down gain for Charleston.
22-yard touchdown pass.
Wow.
22-yard touchdown pass.
Our offense will attempt the 2-point conversion.
Well, Steve, you're right. The defender, Kagan Jones, actually slipped, and that gave the separation for that receiver to be wide open. And they're going to line up and go for 2.
Yep, Tigers going to go for 2 here. They lead at 12-0. Carter Little with Garrett Smithson in the backfield. Little surveying the defense. He may want to keep this. Ned's going to roll it to the right. He'll throw it in the end zone, wide open, and the 2-point conversion is good in the end zone. Your new score with 1:29 to go in the first. Charleston 14, Pottsville nothing. We're back in 30 seconds.
You belong at a school that understands your needs. At Arkansas Tech University, you'll receive a personalized education designed with your interests in mind. Offering over 115 undergraduate degree options, both online and in person, with classes taught by dedicated instructors committed to helping you succeed in your chosen field. Grow beyond your expectations. Apply today and discover why you belong at ATU.
22-yard touchdown pass on 4th and 17 from Carter Little to Bryson Wibbling in the end zone with a 2-point conversion. With 1:29 to go in the first, Charleston leads this game 14-0.
Yeah, Steve, you didn't want to spot them 14. One came off that pick six, and then, of course, you saw the 4th down play, picked up a 22-yard touchdown pass when our defender slipped. But, hey, game's not over yet.
Bryce Beeson will kick off from the right hash. Kick to the right side. It's going to be taken at the 20-yard line. Return up the middle to 25, to the 30, at the 40, 45, 46, 47-yard line. Good return by Noah Metcalf. He's tackled from behind by Garrett Smithson, but that was a perhaps momentum-shifting play. The Apaches will have it 1st and 10 in very good field position.
Yeah, Steve, special teams that time, we've had a really good couple of kickoff returns, and that was one of them there, and hats off to Metcalf. The first one he had, remember, we had a penalty that it got brought back.
Yep. All right, 1:22 to go in the first quarter. Lots of time left in this ball game. Court Johnson comes to the line of scrimmage. Apaches have trips to the left, one wide out to the near side. Now they motion Jones out of the backfield. Charleston shows blitz. Pottsville picked it up for a moment. Court Johnson's going to be tackled back at the 38-yard line. Lucas Burleson on the blitz, and Court rolled the wrong direction.
Yeah, he did, Steve. And, of course, he actually broke the tackle, but when he did, his knee hit the ground, and they blew the whistle.
Loss of 9 on the play brings up 2nd and 19 as the clock continues to move. Boy, it's tough when you're in 2nd down and long. Pottsville's offense has really struggled early on. Ashmore comes to the near side. Caleb Stansel in the slot. Slot also on the left side, which is the strong side of the formation. Blitz coming. Screen complete to the 40. Across the 44, close to the 45-yard line. Weston Poole made the screen catch. Got back most of what was lost on that play, but it's going to bring up 3rd down at about 14.
Yeah, 3rd and long.
Ball is going to be just inside the 44-yard line. I thought that screen was going to break longer than that, but a good job by the Tiger linebackers seeing what was coming and cutting it off. Keaton Ashmore goes wide to the left, has single coverage with Bryson Wibbling. And we have a stoppage of play as we come to the end of the first quarter. After one, Charleston at their home field leads the Apaches 14-0. We're back after this 1-minute timeout.
Just like the Apaches, I am here to help you score big. Regardless if you are buying or selling, I'll guide you every step of the way. You can call me at 479-970-5079 and we'll connect the dots on getting you where you are trying to go. Speaking of going, let's go Apaches!
Supporting the Pottsville Apaches all season long, smooth running, competing in there. E&F Roofing.
Sorry, hit the wrong button, Steve.
14-0, Charleston with the lead. The Apaches have a 3rd and long. Seems like Pottsville has been in long on offense most of this ball game. It's always tougher when you're on the road, isn't it?
Indeed.
All right, wide out to the right side is Noah Metcalf. They're also bringing Eli Morris to the right. They line him up on the line of scrimmage. Backfield is empty. Charleston's going to bring a blitz. Johnson back to pass. Has a completion at the 50-yard line. To the 45 to the 44-yard line. A nice pitch and catch for the Apaches to Eli Morris, but that's going to be short of first down yardage by about 5 yards. Let's make it 4 yards. It's going to be 4th and 4. Ball will be at the 44-yard line. Pottsville pretty much has to go for this, don't they? They've got to get the defensive rest.
Yeah, Steve, down 14-0, and that our defensive unit's been out there quite often. Yeah, they need to pick up the first down here and keep this drive alive.
Again, Pottsville's going to have an empty backfield. Charleston again showing blitz up the middle. They do bring it. Johnson back to pass. Now under pressure. Rolls right, throws it up, has it complete at the 15, going out of bounds at the 10-yard line, but this one's coming back. I think this is going to come back for a holding on Pottsville. That's 2 holding calls that have really hurt the Apaches.
Wow. Boy, we just can't catch a break.
1 holding call brought a kick return back from the plus 30, and Pottsville had a first down there down to the 10. And the real shame of it was the hold wasn't really anywhere near the play. At least not where the official threw the flag. I mean, holding is holding. Yeah. But this is really going to put the Apaches in a rough spot. I would imagine you have to kick it now, don't you?
Yeah, I think you're going to bring in the punt unit.
It's going to be 4th and 13. Back deep is going to be Emiliano Guyona. Pottsville in kicking formation. Apaches will hit this at about the 37-yard line. Snap is good. Kick is on the way. A low line drive taken at the 25. A little razzle-dazzle reverse. Comes to the near side. Guyona makes 2 men miss and then gets hit hard at the 32-yard line. Pottsville did a nice job staying in their lane on that reverse on the kick, and Charleston will have it 1st and 10, but the Apache defense needs to find an answer.
Jose Alcantar was the defender there on that punt return, making a good stop for the Pottsville Apaches.
So Carter Little will be the quarterback. He's had a good night so far, and we're just in the second quarter. Has a long touchdown pass. Now a quick hitting pass to the near side is going to be complete. Maddox Terry gets across the 37 to the sideline to the 38-yard line, and he'll pick up 9 on the play. Caleb Stancil making the stop, but not until it is a Charleston pickup of 8 yards. Carter Little does a good job of reading the formation. Trips to the left, Little back to pass, quick screen is going to be caught at the 44-yard line. The Apaches make the tackle just as soon as the pass gets there. Deegan Todd with the reception. That'll be a 1st and 10 for Charleston. Tigers lead at 14-0. We're coming up on the 10-minute mark in the second quarter.
5-yard gain on the play, 1st down and 10 Tigers.
Pottsville showing a blitz up the middle, and taking it to the outside is going to be the fullback Garrett Smithson. He's into Apache territory at the 48, maybe the 47-yard line. Pickup of 7. It's going to be 2nd down. I'll call it a 6-yard play. 2nd down and 4. This Charleston offense is picking up yards in chunks.
Steve, they are, and they're just finding those soft spots in this defense.
Carter Little will give it to the fullback, Jared Smith, and Jared Smith is met right in the middle of the field. Good play by the Apache linebacker, Connor Mitchell. That's a loss of 2, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 5 from midfield.
Yeah, Mama Blair, hope you heard your boy's name called there. Was a great stop that time for the Pottsville Apaches.
And I think it's safe to say the Tigers are going to use 2 downs to try to pick up this 5 yards. Their offense has really been rolling downhill most of the ball game. They lead at 14-0. 3rd down and 5 from just inside midfield. Tigers have to get to the 45 for the 1st and 10. Little back to pass. Rolls right, fires it over the middle, and it's going to be complete at the 39-yard line. Good pass The completion goes to Deegan Todd at the 45-yard line, and it is a first down for Charleston.
Steve, not only can they throw the ball and catch the ball, but they are doing so in good coverage.
From the 38, first and 10, quick snap, and they're going to give it to Smithson. He hits open field at the 25, working inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, and the Apache defense looks tired. Well, they've been on the field the whole game. Coming up very slowly, Kai Mahan holding his shoulder, and I think the officials are going to call a timeout. No, Pottsville's going to call a timeout. Timeout on the field with 8:39 to go in the first half. Charleston 14, Pottsville nothing. We're back after this 30-second timeout.
Supporting the Pottsville Apaches all season long. Smooth running, heating and air. E&F Roofing. Fleet Tire. Point S Tire and Auto Service. The Granite Shop. Tyler Riley of River Valley Realty. Van Horn Welding. And Tyson Foods, Metcalf Trucking, and Premier Facilities Group. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you're enjoying tonight's broadcast.
State champions on their 20th year anniversary at halftime. The classic, the team of 2005 will be here. So big night Friday the 26th, homecoming. And we will be honoring the first ever Charleston state championship team.
Pottsville with a timeout here to give the defense a chance to rest a little bit. I think the coaches saw the same thing I did, that they may be getting a little tired. Charleston with one impressive drive on offense to pick up a touchdown on a 4th and 17. The other Charleston touchdown came on a pick six. Charleston deep in Apache territory, threatening 1st and 10 from the 19. Little back pass over the middle, wide open and complete in the end zone for a touchdown to Deegan Todd with the touchdown. 19-yard touchdown pass from Carter Little to Deegan Todd. It's 22-0. Tigers with the lead, and the Tigers are going to try to kick this one. Their kicker is Bryce Beeson. The holder is the quarterback, Carter Little. 8:34 to go in the second quarter. Snap is low, but Little does a good job getting it down, and the point after attempt is good. 8:34 remaining in the first half. 21 Charleston, Pottsville nothing. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout with more Pottsville Apache football.
The Arkansas Sports Network Basketball Classic tips off January 3rd in Clinton. Some of the state's best teams. One unforgettable day of hoops. Don't wait. Secure your seats now before they're gone. Get your tickets for the ASN Basketball Classic at facebook.com/ARSportsNetHS and ARSportsNet, or you can click the QR code at the bottom of the screen.
Well, Charleston in their opening game of the year certainly has not played like it's a season opener. Their offense has been very, very good, and they lead this game 21-0. Tiger offense has 2 touchdowns in this game. The third touchdown came on a pick six. Pottsville has yet to get to the Tiger side of the field. They did, but it was brought back on a penalty. 2 big penalties on Pottsville, both of them holding calls, has really hurt the Apaches. Well, you can't score 21 points in one possession, so the Apaches are going to have to try to get something going here before we break for halftime, get a little momentum worked up if they can. Beeson from the near hash will kick it to the near side of the field. It's going to be caught at the 5-yard line. Returned by Noah Metcalf, gets to the 15, and he is tackled at the 15-yard line. Tackle made by Charleston's Finn Schmalls, who wears number 21. Kind of imperative that the Apache offense makes something happen on this possession. The Apaches will be starting from their own 16-yard line. The Apache just needs to pick up a few first downs, get a little momentum going their way. They send Noah Metcalf wide to the right, slot left. Court Johnson, the quarterback, in the backfield, gives it to Stancil. Trap play, open field across the 20, to the 25, the 30, up the hash to the 35, to the 37-yard line. That was Caleb Stancil, the ball carrier, and an Apache 1st and 10 on a quick-hitting trap play.
That's that momentum you were talking about, Steve, right there.
Pottsville's offensive line gave Charleston a false read on that one and was able to open up a play right up the middle across the 37-yard line. Court Johnson leads the offense to the line of scrimmage in an offset I. 2 backs in the backfield. The defense moves left to right. Everyone is set again. Johnson will give it again up the middle across the 43 to the 44 to the 45-yard line. Caleb Stancil with another strong carry. He's going to carry to the 45-yard line. Will pick up almost 9. Pottsville may have found something going straight ahead. It's a dive series on the 2 plays, and they move the ball from their own 15 out to the 35-yard line. 7.5 to play in the second quarter. 21-0 Tigers. Another offset I. And Court Johnson brings the offense set, takes the handoff, gives it right up the middle at the 45. Stancil cuts to the near side, the 35, runs over one Tiger at the 25, gets down to the 20-yard line, to the 19-yard line. Straight ahead. Belly series, 3 plays, and the Apaches have moved it from their own 15 to the Tiger 21-yard line. Deepest penetration so far for the Apaches. They found something coming out of this 2-back set. Now the Apaches line up in a dead T. They may like this power football going straight ahead. Court Johnson under center, 1st and 10, Tiger territory. They're going to give it to Kagan Jones. Fumble on the snap, or on the exchange. The ball is loose. And we'll wait for the officials. Charleston's going to say they have the ball. That exchange never got into the hands of the running back. Second big turnover by the Apaches. That play just looked out of sorts from the get-go. First and 10, Charleston. I wonder if they might go for a home run ball here. Little back to pass. Yep. Go route coming up the near side. It's going to be overthrown at the 45-yard line. Good deep coverage by the Apaches. Eli Morris. In fact, they had double coverage over the top. Keaton Ashmore also did a nice job of getting in on the play. Deegan Todd was on a go route, and the Apaches had it double covered, so I wasn't the only one thinking that Charleston might go for a home run ball there. 6:34 to go in the second. Clock is stopped on the incompletion. Second down and 10. Ball on the right side hash. Apaches showing blitz this time. Now they fall into coverage. Little back to pass. Looking over the middle, and it is complete through 2 defenders. Tackle's going to be made at the 25-yard line. But what an unbelievable catch by Maddox Terry. Pottsville had 2 guys in position to knock that ball away. Noah Metcalf was there, as was Eli Morris, and the ball was completed anyway. What a throw and catch, especially the catch. This quarterback, Little, is just throwing it up there no matter coverage and figuring his guys are going to make the play. And they have been. Out of the backfield, pass is complete to the near side. It's going to be Deegan Todd driven out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. Pottsville covered that well. Pickup of a yard, 2nd and 9. The Apaches really need to keep Charleston out of the end zone here. Pottsville already trails this 21-0. The Apaches with 2 turnovers. One was on a march to the end zone. The other led to a pick 6. The fumble stopped the Apaches on the last possession. Rolling to the left side is Little, and it's going to be complete at the 10 to the 5. Touchdown by Bryson Wibbling. And once again, the Apaches had a man in coverage, and he just whiffed on it. 32-yard touchdown pass. To Wibbling.
Bryce Beeson on to attempt the point after.
6:04 to go in the half. Charleston will put the kick in the air, and it's going to be good. 6:04 left to go in the second quarter. With the point after, Charleston now has a 28-0 lead over the Pottsville Apaches. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout.
Just like the Apaches, I am here to help you score big. Regardless if you are buying or selling, I'll guide you every step of the way. You can call me at 479-970-5079 and we'll connect the dots on getting you where you are trying to go. Speaking of going, let's go Apaches!
3 touchdowns by the Tiger offense. The 4th touchdown came on a pick 6. And the Tigers on their home field, their home opener, their opening game of the season, they lead at 28-0. How good is this Charleston bunch going to be if this is their opening game? They're executing like this is about the 7th game of the year, not the 1st. Beeson will kick off from the near side. This kick's going to be deep and will bounce into the end zone and will come back out on the touchback. I really thought, Jim, that the Apaches had something going on that last possession. They found success just going right straight ahead. They got down deep into Charleston territory, went to the dead tee, and the exchange was fumbled, and that thwarted that drive.
Yeah, Steve, that was some of our woes last week, long about the second, third, and fourth quarter. First quarter last week, we really looked good, put 21 points on the board, and then we started having some of those mental mistakes and putting the ball on the ground. We got to get that cleaned up if we're going to survive, especially a football game like this.
Yeah, this is a tough spot for the Apaches. They already trail at 28-0 with 6:04 left to go in the quarter. Johnson back to pass, looking left, has it complete, and then it is incomplete. Eli Morris heard footsteps. Boy, the last thing you want here is a quick 3 and out.
You know, you got to have some ball control, and you said it earlier, partner, that the defensive unit for the Pottsville Apaches, they've been on the field a lot tonight.
Yep, they are gassed. Offense needs, again, to string together some first downs.
We got one of our big fans watching tonight, Officer Travis Garza, Chief Garza.
Cord Johnson back to pass. Flanker screen complete at the 20, turns upfield at the hash across the 25. Keaton Ashmore with the reception, and then he's stacked up by a pride of Tigers. About 5 defenders. Schmaltz, the first one to get there. Pick up his 5. It's going to be 3rd and 5. You would say this is 4-down territory, but I don't think you can do that deep on your own side of the field. But you trail at 28-0.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to give them a short field. You just don't want to give them the ball. How about that?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Slots on each side of the field. Single back in the backfield. Motion man right to left across the formation. Johnson back to pass. Has a completion out of the backfield, but Charleston has that covered very well. That's actually going to lose a couple of yards on the play. Schmaltz and Diga Todd combined for the stop of Kagan Jones. They were in his face almost as quickly as he caught the ball. That play was just too slow to develop.
It was.
Tigers able to read that very, very quickly. Dawson Parker in to boot the ball away. Charleston with 2 return men right at midfield. They expect good field position. Snap is good. Kick is a low line drive kick. Doesn't turn over. Taken at the 40. Charleston fakes the reverse, wibbling to the left side. He's got running room at the left sideline to the 35 to 34, but this is coming back. There are 2 flags on the play.
Yeah.
Both officials may have seen the same call, and I think it's probably going to be a block in the back.
Let's see what Mr. Whitehat has to say.
Well, they may have called a chop block here. I'm looking at the preliminary indication. That may have been an illegal block. I said chop block. That's my mistake. That's not the sign, but it was an illegal block below the waist. So from midfield, they'll back the Tigers up 15 yards. Should go back to the 35-yard line. Boy, that's a dangerous play, that block below the waist. That's a good way to get somebody hurt.
Yeah, Steve, it is. And
I'm sure the Tiger player did not mean to do that.
Well, some of the Pottsville Apache mamas in the stand, I think they're disagreeing with you a little bit.
They're not buying my assessment, are they?
Yeah, they're pretty vocal tonight, which I don't blame them, man. We have some passionate Pottsville Apache fans, and I thank God for each and every one of them.
So that penalty must have come from the 45-yard line or the 47-yard line. They move it back to the 32. Charleston 1st and 10 from their 32. This is a formation they have not shown tonight. 2 wideouts, but they're split wide on the left side of the formation. Quarterback is Carter Little. Now he's going to move Garrett Smithson from right to left. Little's going to roll to the left. Pass is going to be complete to Chastain. He gets across the 40, the 45 to the 46-yard line. And that's going to be a Charleston first down.
I believe that was number 28 defending for the Apaches. That was Weston Poole.
They started that back at the 30-yard line. 4:05 and counting left to go in the half. Charleston leads at 28-0. Pottsville's defense doesn't get a stop here. This could be a sportsmanship rule situation. Pass over the middle falls incomplete. And Chastain was wide open at the 45-yard line. Little threw it behind him, and that's the first pass I remember Charleston quarterbacks Little missing.
Yeah.
And even when he has been a little bit off, his receivers have made some great catches.
Yeah, no kidding. Well-coached football team. Of course, Charleston's always well-coached.
From the 45, 46-yard line, draw play is met in the backfield by the Apaches. Knifing up to make the stop is Connor Mitchell. That will move the ball back to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, Connor Mitchell putting some of those championship wrestling moves on them.
28-0, Charleston with the lead. Pottsville needs a stop here. 3:29 to go in the half. It'll be 3rd down and 12. Carter Little has had a great first half throwing the football, and his receivers have made some catches. Little's back to pass again. Rolls to the left, throws it over the middle, and it's knocked away in the secondary by Kagan Jones.
Boy, man, if Kagan could have came down with that ball, it would have been a pick six for the Apaches. And man, we need something positive to happen for our team right now.
I suspect that Charleston's going to go for this, I would think. Well, maybe not. Yes, you're right. Pottsville needs something positive to happen.
Yeah.
Officials spotted that ball a couple of yards too far downfield.
Yeah, they spotted it on the original line of scrimmage.
Frankly, I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often. Charleston showing that they're going to kick the ball. I believe that's Todd with the kick, taken by the Apaches at the 25. to the near side at the 30, the 35, and then angling out of bounds is Eli Morris after a good return. Gives the offense good field position, and the Apache defense bows up and get the stop they desperately needed.
Well, Steve, I'm like old Yogi. Never say never, right?
Right.
It ain't over till it's over. Well, we need a score here to go into halftime. Get this thing, back to, a three-possession ball game. And that would be something positive. And then we just got to bow up.
Especially since the Tigers are going to get the ball first in the third quarter. 1st and 10 Apaches. They are just short of the 40-yard line. Johnson to the right side. Pass
good
over
catch.
the middle and caught at the 45-yard line. Weston Poole one-handed the ball for the Apache first down.
Boy, Steve, that was a great catch.
Wow. Put it in there, and the catch was made. Boy, these are high school receivers making these catches? From the 44-yard line, Apache 1st and 10. They trail at 28-0, 2.5 to go in the half. Court Johnson has motion, pass to the right side. It's going to be complete to Weston Poole again. Short gain on this play is going to move it down to about the 41-yard line. Pick up a 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Clock continues to run with 2:14. I think the Apaches have 2 timeouts left. In fact, both teams have 2 timeouts. Apaches desperately need to get this into the end zone. They need some momentum for halftime, as you pointed out. Offset I formation again. Pottsville had some success with this, running straight ahead. And they're going to do it this time, and Charleston has seen it once too often.
Yeah.
Finn Schmaltz makes the stop. Loss of a yard, maybe 2 on the play, back to the 45-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 10. Charleston may want to use a timeout here. In fact, I'm a little surprised they don't. 1:25 to go in a half that frankly has been all Tiger.
Steve, I think we need a skinny post.
I think we need a skinny post also. 3rd down and 10 from the 43. Single back set. Jones motions right to left. They're going to look left. Johnson has a man over the middle, complete at the 29-yard line. That's going to be an Apache 1st and 10.
Guess
Pass
who?
complete to Caleb Stansel.
You bet. Or no, was that? I believe that was Poole again, Steve, number 28.
I think that was 28. I think that was Weston Poole. That's his 3rd completion on this drive. Ball is now at the 28-yard line. The clock is running. 50 seconds to go in the half. 28-0 Charleston. Pottsville again, for the 2nd time tonight, has the ball deep in Tiger territory. Offset I formation. They give it straight ahead again across the 25 to the 24 to the 23-yard line. Stansel, the ball carrier. There is a flag on the play.
Yeah, flag out there by the hash mark. Looks like it's going to be a holding penalty, Steve, against the Apaches.
Yep, holding's the call on the Apaches.
Justin, last week we had, 3 penalties the entire game?
This is the 3rd penalty in the half, and they've all really hurt. One brought back a long kick return, one brought back a long pass return, and this one moves the ball back deep in Charleston territory. Apaches take a timeout with 34 seconds left to go in the second. Charleston 28, Pottsville nothing. We're back in 30 seconds.
Number 6, Prescott Salem is leading that one 43-0 before halftime.
Look, everybody's talking about D3 Auto Sales, and I say to myself, there must be something special about this dealership, and it's their prices. You can get one of these vehicles right up here for not a lot of money, right? That's D3 Auto Sales in Desert, d3autosales.com.
Well, let's see some other interesting games involving River Valley teams tonight. The Dardanelle Sand Lizards host the Elkins Elks from Northwest Arkansas. I think the Clarksville Panthers were playing their home opener this week.
J.U. Lethbridge High School.
Pottsville, after the timeout, they have one left. They trail the game 28-0. There's 34 seconds left to go in the second quarter. From the 38-yard line with two wideouts on each side of the formation. Johnson's back to pass under pressure. Kind of throws it up for grabs, and it's going to fall incomplete at the 10-yard line. The defender really got in the way of the Apache receiver. The official was looking right at the play. He shook his head no.
I think it might have been, Steve, it might have been underthrown just a little bit, and maybe that's what they were thinking. I don't know.
Well, certainly Kagan Jones had no chance to adjust and come back and get it.
At all.
No, at all.
At all.
So it's going to be second down and 22 with 26 seconds left to go in the quarter.
As my wife would say, that's pass interference every time.
Well, as Matt Lee has reminded me more than once over the years, in high school football, every pass is considered catchable, so that wasn't an option. Johnson back to pass over the middle, has a completion at the 15 to the 10 to the 9-yard line. I believe that was Noah Metcalf over the middle for the completion. Pottsville with 17 seconds. They'll stop the play to reset the clock. The Apaches need to get this play called in quickly. They'll start the clock as soon as the sticks are set. Now we do have a timeout called by Charleston. That's interesting. Pottsville will have the ball first down at the 10. I think they can pick up a first down without a touchdown. 16 seconds left to go. The lead belongs to Charleston 28-0, and we're back in 30 seconds.
During the Great Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pod. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
Pottsville desperately needs to get the ball into the end zone here. That is right at their 10-yard line. There is no first down marker, so it's first and goal to go from the 10. The Apaches do have a timeout left, so you could run the football here. 16 seconds remaining in the quarter. Court Johnson takes the snap. Give is in the backfield. Pottsville fumbles it. Charleston falls on it, and that's the end of that drive. Lawson Webb recovers the fumbled exchange, and that was after a timeout. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
Steve, that was one of the things you're talking about, momentum shifting in one play. You know, we were going to hopefully get a score right before half, but, man, that just put the nail in the coffin as far as us scoring before half.
Well, and let's see how far this quarterback, Carter Little, can throw the football.
Because they're going to be going for it with 11 seconds.
Oh, well, what do I know? He takes a knee. That will bring us to the end of the first half of play. Tough first half for the Apaches. It's been all Charleston so far. Charleston 28, the Apaches nothing. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout.
Belong at a school that understands your needs. At Arkansas Tech University, you'll receive a personalized education designed with your interests in mind. Offering over 115 undergraduate degree options, both online and in person, with classes taught by dedicated instructors committed to helping you succeed in your chosen field. Grow beyond your expectations. Apply today and discover why you belong at ATU.
The Arkansas Sports Network Basketball Classic tips off January 3rd in Clinton. Some of the state's best teams. One unforgettable day of hoops. Don't wait. Secure your seats now before they're gone. Get your tickets for the ASN Basketball Classic at facebook.com/ARSportsNetHS and ARSportsNet, or you can click the QR code at the bottom of the screen.
Since inception, Premier Facilities Group has completed some of the most challenging and rewarding construction projects across Arkansas. Today, our work extends across 4 core markets: commercial and residential building, industrial, and utility. That allows our company to construct projects that help shape and improve the landscape of the River Valley and beyond. A strong local presence and a vast network of resources allows us to provide best-in-class solutions for all of our clients. From small jobs to multi-million-dollar capital projects, PFG's employees and resources are dedicated to serving our clients and delivering strong results.
A charming group of Charleston ladies at midfield. That's not my name for them. They are the Charleston Charmers, and they are part of the halftime entertainment here at Tiger Stadium as the hometown fans have really enjoyed this ball game. Charleston leads at 28-0. Our Pottsville Apache stream rules expert, Matt Lee, tells me that should have been pass interference. The defender gave the Apache receiver absolutely no chance to adjust on that football, and it was right in front of the official. I'm not real sure what he was thinking there, but I am not an official. But yeah, the consensus here is that yes, that should have been pass interference, that Charleston may have gotten away with one there. But that's just one. Pottsville trails this game 28-0. I think the Apaches at the moment have more turnovers than they do first downs.
Well, Steve, they do. And, there's nothing wrong with a basket full of good apple turnovers, but football turnovers, they're horrible, man. I'm just telling you.
It was a bad omen at the start of this game. Pottsville took the football to begin the half. The opening kick was returned all the way to the plus 30-yard line, except there was a penalty that brought it all the way back. And then a pick six got Charleston on the board, 6-0. At that point, you kind of had to go, uh-oh. It's just one of those things, and it's been all Tigers through the first half. But there is a second half to go, and the Apaches will come back out and see what they can do. First, they're going to have to stop Charleston's offense on the first possession, or you get into a sportsmanship timing rules situation. So job number one for the Apaches will be to get a stop right out of the break.
Yeah, you come right out here in the third quarter, and they get the ball first. Steve, you got to stop them, and you need a 3 and out. That's what you need.
Speaking of breaks, we're going to tell you that Charleston leads this game 28-0. Brother Jim and I and Justin are going to take a bit of a break here at halftime. We'll come back with second half action. Again, Charleston 28, Pottsville 0. I'm Stephen Glenn. So long for just a little while.